Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and welcome to another episode of Morning Sip, where I kind of talk to you guys about what I'm thinking about, what's going on with my life, with the game, and kind of talk about where I'm at. Let's go ahead and dig in. So we're going to go ahead and do some dailies just as we're trucking along through here, but I did want to talk about a couple of things today. I definitely wanted to touch on the new limited guild battle. I am super excited that they brought this back. Like, personally, for me, like, Japan has so many limited guild battles compared to us, and it's one of those things, especially with like the guild boss battles coming up over the course of probably the next month or so. It's just going to add more guild synergy, more conversation, and it feels like kind of the enhancement to guild recruitment was what they kind of set as like the baseline to kind of start maybe investing in limited guild battles. I really hope that this is something that they do going forward almost on a monthly basis. I would even love potentially to have 2 or 3 limited guild battles going at once. I know it's something that we don't really see on the global side, but I think it's something that, you know, if we had this, it would bring so much to the guild communities. We would be talking even more, and it would get us away from kind of a world where you have to set up the best wall and you have to be, you know, the strongest player to participate. And I think that alone kind of turns a lot of people off from the guild battle system. I've talked to a lot of people over, you know, a lot of spectrums of guilds, and a lot of guilds on the lower tiers, they're lucky if they can even get people to participate, right? And that's brutal. Like, could you imagine having a guild full of 30 people and the leader's not participating, people aren't participating? And I just hope it kind of prompts people to get a little bit more engaged. I'm personally really excited for it. I love that it's a cost limited guild battle, so it forces you to use some unconventional strategies. I love Fina. Fina has been doing really good with Jaden recently, so being able to run like Fina, Jaden, Elena, or Engelbert, for example, and changing up the vision cards to kind of put in Chocobo, right? Chocobo's a lower cost vision card that also gives agility up to the party. It's very universal if you want to put in like a lower cost vision card into your formation to meet the cost limit. I love that type of stuff. That's the type of stuff that really gets me excited for the game. And so to kind of see that change coming, I'm pretty excited for it. And for those of you saying, well, where's the sip? Where's the coffee? You know, I got Coke right now, guys. It's not a morning coffee sip, but it's a morning Coke sip. While we're talking about guild battles and talking about almost the environment of the game, I think it's important to touch on the meta recently. And I think the meta is probably one of the best metas that we've seen in a long time. It seems like there are multiple elements that are viable. You could run a light formation, you could run a fire formation, you could run a water formation, you could run a variety of formations, and you could be fine, right? Like, as long as, like, depending on what you choose to invest in, depending on what you decide to pursue, that element that you've invested in is going to be viable, right? And I think that really balances out the game. Of course, you know, for my viewers that are in top tier guilds, there's of course only one meta, right? There's only one elemental composition that you're all setting for your walls, that you're, you know, have worked out and dominated. But for the rest of us, for everybody who's kind of a average Joe, for people who, you know, don't really work, you know, who maybe we're in the top 100 guilds, right? Where we don't have to set the strongest wall, but we kind of have a variety of compositions we can set and you can run into. It feels good. It feels unique, and it feels like an experience every time you kind of go into guild battle and you kind of go up against people where you're like, oh, okay, this is an interesting formation. I think that's kind of the mindset to come in with, right? So that's been feeling really good. On a more personal note, there's a lot of stuff going on in my channel right now. We're working on video editing, which has been a really big deal for me. I've been trying to pull it off. It's difficult. Learning how to video edit is really hard. I know how to do a lot of the simple things now. I can cut things out if I want to. I can cut them in. It's learning how to do them faster and faster each time. That's the real hard part, I think. So I'm learning to do a lot of that. And a lot of my time nowadays is kind of spent trying to balance out the, like, how long am I going to spend editing? Am I going to, like, this video is not edited, right? But my last, like, my news video edit, I was able to do it in 45 minutes to an hour. And that seemed like a pretty good amount of time for a edited video. But it still wasn't at the quality level that I want. There's still filters that I need to learn about. There's still implementations I need to learn about. So a lot of that is kind of what I'm working on and struggling with right now. So if you do notice any of my videos coming out with video editing in them, particularly the fight videos later this week, a lot of my streamed content I'm going to try and turn into videos for you guys to watch, just because I personally enjoy watching my streamers streamed content kind of be truncated, right? A lot of that I'm going to be trying to do this week as well. I'm going to be streaming particularly a lot with Pixel Remaster 5 coming out, and I'm really excited to hear the soundtrack remaster for Pixel Remaster 5. I think Final Fantasy 5 is one of the best soundtracks in the series. I just can't wait to do it. I can't wait to clear it. I've kind of given up on 100%ing the Pixel remasters. I feel like I always miss one thing, or there's like one detail that I'm not able to nail. So with Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, I'm just going to focus on enjoying the game. I'm going to focus on streaming it, enjoying it, you know, talking with the people who do show up. Because I think at the end of the day, you know, people, you know, the people that come to my channel, a lot of the people enjoy Final Fantasy as much as I do, and the Pixel Remaster is a unique opportunity for me to connect with some of you guys that maybe have a deeper connection to the Final Fantasy series than, you know, simply it's a mobile game. I know I was really surprised to find out that a lot of people haven't beaten all of the Final Fantasies in the community recently. I was like, whoa, there's a lot of like new Final Fantasy players in the community. So I'm kind of excited to play that and experience Final Fantasy V with you guys as well this week. Little bummed out about the Endwalker delay. For those of you that don't know, I do play Final Fantasy XIV. In Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, the final expansion was delayed 2 weeks. Little bit bummed out about that, but I also understand and I trust Yoshi P is going to be doing, you know, what he needs to do and what is necessary in order for this to be, or for Endwalker to be successful. I am a little nervous that Endwalker will not be able to live up to Shadowbringers' legacy. I genuinely think Shadowbringers was the best Final Fantasy that I have played in probably a decade. I think Shadowbringers was a once-in-a-lifetime Final Fantasy opportunity that only comes around every decade or two. And I feel really blessed that I got to play it with Giant together. But it's definitely something I was a little bummed out about. You'll probably see me disappear off the face of the earth. I know most of the people that watch these morning sips are the people who are like really my tight-knit fans. So if you see me disappear off the face of the earth for a week, it's because Endwalker came out and I am probably playing that. And the last thing I want to do is get spoiled. I want to fully experience it. And a lot of people are probably like, well, don't you want to stream Endwalker? Not interested in streaming it. Like for me, like if a new Final Fantasy comes out, I really want to experience it. I want to, you know, have fun doing it. And, you know, just like you guys, right? Like I know there's a lot of people that want to watch streams of it and kind of be involved in that content. But at the end of the day, I just want to experience it myself and I want to play it myself. And in the modern era, it's really easy to get spoiled. So like the last time when Shadowbringers came up, I literally like closed off my internet and just played Shadowbringers, turned off all my chat. Like even when I was doing a dungeon, turned off party chat, guild chat, turned it all off. So for me, if I disappear for a week, you guys, that is why. Finally, kind of where I'm at with WoTV right now. I'm really enjoying WoTV. I love WoTV, but I think we're in a little bit of a lull currently with WoTV. I think, you know, traditionally with War Divisions, there's always been these kind of times where War Divisions dies down a little bit. And usually it's in between the big collaborations, right? So like Final Fantasy X, right before Final Fantasy X came, there was like a huge lull, right? Right before, gosh, even before that, I feel like I don't even remember enough back then to be like, oh yeah, like I remember there being a lull before that, right? So like, I feel like we're in this lull currently in War of the Visions where we're waiting for Final Fantasy 15, we're waiting for the different type of Christmas units to come out. And I think, you know, probably, you know, I don't know when Final Fantasy 15 is going to be coming out. I would imagine it would be in the next month or so. But I think that will really reinvigorate, right? War of the Visions. I think we're kind of in like post Final Fantasy 7 kind of like slow down mode currently. And honestly, I think Oberon is the only character that I was really excited for. The Crystal Warriors are going to be interesting coming out in global, and I think that could flush some life into the global community, but I really think it's going to be Final Fantasy 15. I think that's going to surge it. And then I'm really hoping they do something where they maybe release Endwalker stuff early on the global side or something, because I feel like we're like pre-holiday right now, right? Like all the Christmas stuff is coming out, the Christmas music is going on, and we're like, we all know that Santa's coming, but we don't know when he's coming yet or what he's going to bring. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with War of the Visions. Other than that, pretty excited for the new Pokemon games to come out. Pretty excited for a lot of the games that are going to be releasing on like PS5 in the next 4 months. We'll definitely be playing a lot of those on stream. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this type of content. Again, this is most of the time just for me. This is more for me getting able to talk to you guys and you guys getting to know me a little bit more on an intimate level. And thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys, and have a great rest of your day.